Act 1, Scene 4, lines 113 through 120 are given by Romeo. And this is right before they're heading to the mask. And he says, I fear too early, for my mind misgives some consequence, yet hanging in the stars shall bitterly begin his fearful date with this night's revels, and expire the term of a despised life closed in my breast by some vile forfeit of untimely death. But he that hath the steerage of my course, direct my sail. On, lusty gentlemen. Now, when you look at this piece right here, this is the most obvious piece of foreshadowing you can actually get when you look at any work of Shakespeare. So Benvolio has just said, we shall come too late to the mask. But Romeo says, I fear too early, for my mind misgives some consequence yet hanging in the stars. And if you use your footnotes that are your friends, by referring over to the left-hand side of the page, you find that consequence hanging in the stars is something that he's worried about that's going to happen, that he's been fated to have happen, because the stars are equivalent to the fate. All right? So when he says, my mind misgives, his mind has got him worried about it. It's misgiving, and misgivings are not good things. So when he says, with this night's revels, it's going to begin with this night's revels. Revels, of course, is celebration. So we're worried that, with this night's celebration, bad things are going to come out of it. And he says, expire the term of a despised life closed in my breast by some vile forfeit of untimely death. So in contrast to being a happy mask and a ball and a big dance, it's not actually going to be happy, because this life, which he hates because, of course, Rosaline doesn't love him. So as we know, he is horribly suffering from unrequited love. What's that?
Is it Rosaline or Rosalind separate?
Rosaline, who cares? She doesn't matter for very long in the play anyway. So when you look at, of a despised life closed in my breast, he's talking about how he hates his own life. This is once again Romeo being extra emotional, being whiny, yes. And he says, by some vile forfeit of untimely death. Now that means there's going to be something that's going to collect the debt that his life is owed, and it's going to collect it in an untimely fashion. He's going to die young. He has this, vision that he's going to die young, which is your blatant piece of foreshadowing. Thus, we have looked at, analyzed, and dissected / translated lines 113 to 120. And, of course, the last two lines here, but he that hath the steerage of my course direct my sail, on, lusty gentlemen. So, of course, I'm going to go ahead and continue on with everybody else, because I'm going to follow the rest of the pack and go do what everybody else is doing. Not exactly the best role model right now, but it does make for a good story.